loved my teams. I used to collect teams around me, the best I can have. I'm still personal friends with most of my teams over 40 years. But the guy who I reported to, if I liked him, that was fine. I treated him as an equal, I chatted to him, I got on well with him, we'd have a drink maybe, I'd tell him what I thought. If I didn't like him, I ignored him. I'll even tell you the famous one, John Bird. I didn't like John Bird. He was Director General of the BBC. He was an arrogant prat. I used to take the piss out of him. When he asked my opinion about something, I would give him a ridiculous, palpably ridiculous opinion. I would wind him up by asking him things like, why is that? Why do you put that person in that job? Really stupid thing to do, guys. Manage up as well. You know, it's lovely to have a good team, to be friendly with all your other producers, which I think I am. I'm friendly with Posy, I'm friendly with Boydie. David, we were never in competition, but I stay friendly with that level, and I love my teams. Where I did make a mistake was I was too casual about the guy I reported to. And if you really want to go a long way in this game, think about it. Just think about that guy as well. Because he's going to decide your bonus, your termination, your renewal, what shows you do. Give him a bit of respect, or her, I should say. And secondly, the most obvious one in the world, never believe your own PR. We've all, I assume if you're in this room, we've all had good times. We've won a BAFTA, we've won an Oscar, we've won an Emmy, we've had a #1 show, we've got a big show recognition. We've made a big bonus. Those are fantastic moments. But also, if we're honest, we've had the moment where you want your name taken off the show and you hope the network will cancel it because you can't bear it going out every week and having to watch it. We've all been there as well, certainly I have. The good thing about those was, if you read my CV, those of you who know a little bit about me, you won't see any of those shows mentioned. You'll see Bennett and Got Talent and Young Ones and Red Dwarf and so on, because they forget about us. But never believe your own PR, and I will finish on a final story that Bill Cotton said to me once. I was lucky enough, Bill came, when he retired from the BBC, he came and chaired a company of which I was the managing director, small TV independent. And we had a problem at one point. We, would you believe, tried to make a sitcom. We were asked to make a controversial sitcom. And we tried to make a sitcom called Heil Honey, I'm Home, which was the American style, if you think of I Love Lucy or Honeymooners or whatever, it was that kind of show about Hitler and Eva Braun and their Jewish neighbours, the Jewish couple who lived next door to them. And we had 13 scripts written, and we started recording them. And funnily enough, we got into a few problems along the way. And cast members were trying to resign, and we had a picket outside the studio. And it's like, it was a pretty bad time. This show has never gone out because
I want to see it.
It's on, the first episode is on Google. It's on YouTube. To my amazement, that what happened was B-Sky-B at that time was run by a British company. Murdoch came in and bought it. It was BSB. Bought it. It became B-Sky-B. And the first thing, a man called David Alstein's an old friend of mine, phoned up and said, "Paul, stop recording. Where are you up to?" I said, "We're in rehearsal for show 7 and 13. He said, "Stop. Lay everybody off. Pay them if you have to. We're not going to be any more of them." And we destroyed all but, I think we did, all but the first episode. And the first episode was locked in a safe, as I understood it, in my partner's house, a man called Charles Armitage. And I was saying this at Banff one time, and somebody said, no, I've seen it on Google, on YouTube. And he went to it, and there it was, and they all stayed back for lunch and watched it. And a couple of people said to me, "You should have done that, you know, it's good, that's very funny." Anyway, but Bill said to me at the time, I was pretty low. I mean, I was the managing director of the company, I was a big shareholder in the company. We were getting crucified, believe me. Because, of course, everybody has an opinion on these kind of shows. They don't need to see the show. They know that it's bad, because how could you do that joke? Well, you can do jokes anywhere. The record shows that there was a lot of humour in the concentration camps. Because how do you deal with that stuff without making jokes about it? Humour actually is almost at its most valuable in difficult situations. I'm not trying to justify that show, which was probably a mistake. But anyway, Bill said to me, "I just tell you, Paul, remember this one thing about the story about the Asian prince, Oriental prince, who sent away by his father to study with the Zen masters because he's going to become king one day. And he studies and studies rigorously for 10 or 15 years, and eventually he's ready to leave the monastery and go back into the world. And the chief monk calls him in and says, "You've done very well, you've passed all your exams, you're fit to be a ruler. I want to give you one last gift, I want to give you a ring." And he puts this ring on his finger, and it's a clasp ring. And he says, "Don't open it now, just keep it there. And at the time of your greatest triumph, or your greatest disaster, then open the ring." And the prince goes off into the world, and he meets either disaster or triumph, it doesn't matter which it is, and he opens the ring, and what it says is, "This too will pass." Just Just remember, guys, this too will pass. The shit and the gold, they're all transitory. How many of you are fans of Breaking Bad? So you'll know that in the last episode, the penultimate episode was called Ozymandias. You remember the episode? You know why it's called Ozymandias? I'm not going to tell you anything about the show, don't worry. No, it's not about the show. You know why? Where are you up to?
Last part of last season.
You know what's happening. Why was it called Ozymandias? Does anybody know the answer? It's been a long war. Ozymandias was a poem written by a British romantic poet called Percy Bysshe Shelley. And it's about a huge statue that's lost in the sands of Arabia somewhere, of one of the great kings. Think of Genghis Khan. One of the great kings crumbled into dust, covered by sand. And when the traveller scrapes away the dust from the thing, it says, "Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair." And that's the tombstone epitaph of one of the greatest kings, one of the greatest conquerors in the history of humankind. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Look at me now, crumbled into the dust of the desert. So our travails, nobody dies when we make TV. Well, actually, once I was involved, but that was a bad one. You hope nobody dies. Come on, it's TV. Make it to the best you can, but whether you're